Welcome back to what may be the final part of this long and emotionally drawn Let's Play of Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. We're going into the second, and I do mean second, and final half of this trial, because the ending will be electrified. March 23rd, 12:05 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, has handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises: why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real criminal. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You've seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why did she... She's already guilty on 2 counts, dude. Way to go. The bear figurine. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. The bear figurine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push everything. A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? So you can take it apart. And how would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right, and then push it in. Oh yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Ooh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh my god, really? Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? And how do you know about this? And how do you know about this? I know it because I was the one who bought it. It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you? That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for one. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. So, who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland. So I doubt there are many people with this bear, with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get what was inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same once it's been broken. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you? And of course that means Mr. Ungard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. So we get the figurine updated. Well, Mr. Wright, I think that you have come to realize, that there is one very important fact, and we have uncovered that this bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is, what is inside this box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next, witness. Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. Minutes later, there's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? Well, what is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess at what that is. Do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Corda's former manager, Celeste Impacts. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim Juan Corda himself. It seems Celeste Impacts had very beautiful handwriting. And I say the same thing about me. And she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard about it from one. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere. Because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least, that's what I would think. And now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of this note aloud. Very well. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the dead silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impact left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and thrown away by Ungod. About being engaged to Corda and in Ungod's role in destroying that. And about how she decided in her despair to end it all. And that's all Miss Impacts had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Ungod. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Matt Ungod values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost! So we get the suicide note. Ungod found that woman killed herself!
I decided he went so far to kill someone to stop him from real that.
How terrible!
That's so refreshing. I guess our slime-ball lawyers were there to defend these creeps too.
There's no margin for that here. Mr. DeKiller's client goal was to obtain the suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems we've come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet. So you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can figure out a way out of the situation through one of those. The gaff is already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry! Suicide note and figurine. Which of these should I pursue? The figurine. Please, wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it?
It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook.
The assassin took this with him from the crime scene after murdering Mr. Corda. At the request of his client, of course. So, what's your point, Mr. Wright? I don't think it's possible that Mr. DeKiller's client was Matt Ungod. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. You can't tell by just looking at it that this bear is really a jewelry box. The chances that Matt Ungod thought the note was inside this bear are zero to none! I didn't think of it that way. Exactly, but I did think of it that way. And I thought it was rather strange. After all, there's no reason why Mr. Ungod would ever want a jewelry box like this. Order! 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 You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? A micro penis. It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What's the... I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt on guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim, Juan Corda, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt on guard. Order! Order! And Mr. Wright! Yes, Your Honor. You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the bear's but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this gum-cheese bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Matt on guard's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Angard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that.
Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking? Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy?
Shush, stop. Don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so nasty. Phoenix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next? What am I going to do next?
Just running away like a fine child work?
I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case. But in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's one piece of evidence that I really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded. But now I'm remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think it is time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? Present evidence. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
Your Honor! The defense has no intention of letting this go so easily! You are beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor! Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. Found inside the figurine tells of Ungod's horrible misdeeds. Take that! That is Miss Impact's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, the suicide note was found inside this bear. But this bear was in my possession until a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh. So, as to whether this pivotal piece of information was really written by Miss Impact or not, has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can probably prove it.
Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is fake?
Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear?
How dare you!
Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to this suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Miss Andrews, how many glasses do you have? You wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could frame it, Matt Ungard.
I did no such thing.
Right? If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution! Ugh! That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note?
It is as the defense has stated. Then handwriting has yet to be analyzed.
If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible.
That's impossible!
This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate.
Handwriting lasses my butt. That's just the Lord trying to buy some time. Oh, God's guilty. Look, idiot, throw it on.
I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty! 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 Shut up, Rick! What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello? Gumshoe! What is with him? And what is with that sign? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer?
He got away.
What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry.
I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do.
Anyway, what's going on?
We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone.
This is terrible.
I'm going to keep looking at him, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time.
But
don't tell me we don't have any more.
There goes it again. The crowd screaming, guilty, 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 Gare, guilty, Gare, guilty, Gare. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head.
Mr. Wright, I can't force the code this far.
Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth.
I can't do that!
Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after... Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! He's like, point the leader.
Mr. Edwards? Please, you gotta buy some more time!
Court is in session. The fuck? I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law! I'm sorry, Your Honor. But I am reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow.
This time? I really can't do anything!
Court is now adjourned for the day. Until... Shut up, Rick! Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and convene tomorrow? 30 minutes, please, Your Honor. That's all I am asking for. Please, Your Honor! Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised, I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. March 23rd, 2:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Right. Well? What's going on with my situation? The killer. Looks like he's got away again. 30 minutes. We can't find her in that time. Report!
Is this Mr. Edward?
We don't have time. Just spit it out.
Right. It looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away.
A few things. Can we use any of them as evidence?
I thought you asked, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over.
Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first?
We don't have time to wait for these guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran.
What?
Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now.
Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get into too much trouble over this.
When my hunk of junk card said I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me.
Alright, just get here in one piece.
I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling all stops and running every red light.
I was left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. God damn! Really? Oi! What's wrong? Detective Gumshoe? Answer me!
No, I can't stop. I'm...
Shit. What happened? Sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help! But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, there is a way we can find out where he is, then we can stand a chance. Why did Gumshoe have to get to an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? There's a way. That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Sheena! We're going to summon Sheena for the depths of hell. Anyway, yeah. Take that! Why are you bringing up Francisca at a time like... Oh, I see! I'll try to get in contact with her. Chances are slim, but she's all we have. Francisca. Will she even want to help us? Edgeworth. What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty. But what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilty on someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff. There's a phone call for you, sir. They say it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. Well, I thought it would be a simple two-parter, but apparently it's not. So what we're going to do is we are going to take another brief. I do mean another brief. Stop here, and in the next part, we're going to finish this once and for all. Yes, we are going to finish this game once and for all. We are going to finish everything about this one game that is probably fucking with people's minds right now. So I'll see you in the next part of Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. Stay tuned for the next part.